Virgil Ortiz Jr. has had 4 fights at the 154-pound division. Virgil Ortiz Jr. has knocked out 2 of those opponents, but ironically, both of those opponents have moved up from 147 to 154 to face Virgil Ortiz. So Virgil Ortiz has yet to knock out a real 154-pounder. And if you look at Virgil Ortiz's face after this Israel Madrimov fight, it looks like he lost the fight. Everyone is impressed with the explosiveness and the accuracy of Virgil Ortiz Jr. But when you dig deep into the opponents and the history, especially Sergey Boychuk, who had already been knocked out before. Virgil Ortiz hit Sergey Boychuk with the kitchen sink, and Sergey Boychuk went 12 rounds, dropping Virgil Ortiz twice. This is very interesting. Israel Madrimov, with those little bitty arms, was able to stand in and trade with Virgil Ortiz. Not very accurate, but he was able to do a lot of damage to Virgil Ortiz Jr.'s face.
Ortiz Jr. can definitely win a decision over Erickson Lubin because of his work rate. And Erickson Lubin, lately he's been having a very low output. You know, he in the Jesus Ramos fight, Erickson Lubin was utilizing great movement, but Ramos was adding up points, which is why people think that Ramos should have won that fight. And Virgil Ortiz is probably just as aggressive as Jesus Ramos. So Virgil Ortiz can definitely come in and steamroll Lubin. But my thing is, Lubin knows what's riding on this fight as well. So Lubin is going to come out there with these talking points that I'm using in his mind. So he's probably going to try to stick to the jab. I don't think he's going to take a lot of risks real early. But one thing we can say is that Lubin is coming. Lubin just sat in there and banged it out with Fundora. And he didn't get knocked out. I mean, his corner, somebody threw in the towel. But Lubin, he was in there ready to keep going, man. Of course, he was probably a little discouraged from the way his face was, but Lubin was in there trading punches with Fundora. So he's ready for the smoke with Virgil Ortiz. Like I said, Virgil Ortiz was hitting Boychuk with the kitchen sink. Boychuk has already been knocked out. You know, that's all we got to go off right now. Israel Madrimov is starting to seem like he might have a decent chin, but at the same time, you know, who knows? Who knows? Israel might end up getting clipped, and it might show that Virgil and Terrence Crawford, man, them dudes they not hitting like them real 54s. But Crawford did put a punch on Canelo, though, that was very impressive. But if we want to be real, Canelo is only 5'7". Canelo could be fighting at 154 pounds. He's just known to have an iron chin. Bud caught him with a shot. That was the first time we seen Canelo seem like he lost his balance in a long time. But it wasn't to the point where he was able to pounce on Canelo, with Canelo being unable to defend himself or something like that. So, I mean, same shit. B-Ball rocked him. But Crawford coming up from the lower weight class, we have to put some respect on his name for that. But like I said, Canelo could fight at 154, 160. So it's not like, you know, Bud did hit a light heavyweight or some shit. it made him lose his balance. So with that being said, props to Bud Crawford for making it up for the Magic Ball fight and going out and at least wobbling Canelo a little bit. But like I said, Canelo was still there. I mean, it's not a whole lot to celebrate. And I think the Lubin is coming. Virgil Ortiz Jr. is gonna definitely leave his heart in the ring for sure, however this goes. For sure, 1000%. We can count on Virgil. If a man says he gets hit and don't remember getting hit and he still start throwing bombs, that's Virgil. He said when the mean machine hit him, he don't even remember getting hit. But he knew he had to get his get back, so he's a warrior. So we definitely want to enjoy this fight, man. But me personally, I would be very impressed if Virgil was to get a knockout over Lubin. And the reason I say that is because I know he can hurt Lubin. I'm just wondering, can he finish Lubin? I think he can, but the thing that concerns me is that, like I said, all I have to go off is the Sergey Boychuk fight. Sergey Boychuk has already been knocked out. You hit Sergey with the kitchen sink. Now, we all know styles make fights, so we just don't know. But Lubin has been cracked, man. Like, his only 2 losses come by knockout. The first one was to Jamel Charlo. You know, he didn't see that uppercut coming. So we can give him a little bit of grace on that one. Give him a pass. But the Fundora joint, he said he ain't none of them shots like get him to where he had a stanky leg, if I remember correctly. So he can take a big shot. He just didn't see that shot that Jamel hit him with. So Lubin can take a shot. Now we have seen Lubin wobble several times since that Jamel fight, and that's when we realized that Jamel loss had really left an effect on his punch resistance, man. It's like, I remember my buddy was telling me, like, yo, we might as well look forward to Lubin getting rocked in every fight. But that's how them 154-pound fighters hit, though. And Virgil is not a true 154-pounder. He ain't hitting like them guys, man. You know, he can show me in this fight. He can show me in this fight that he hitting like them guys. I'm waiting to see it, man. But if I had to guess right now, I would say no. I think he's going to look great on Lubin. He might even hurt Lubin. But if he doesn't finish Lubin, that's when I think the problems might start to arise. But anyways, y'all, it was fun. Your boy Jay Squiz. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm out.